Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neil, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neil, and I'm joined here today by the always effervescent Jeff. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. Ken is not here. He actually took a quick trip to Tokyo to work on the train system there, the bullet train. They needed an expert beard to come in and do some analytics, so he'll be gone for a little while. Matt is also not in the studio. We tried to force him to have his own Jordan flu game. He has the summer flu, and he did not want to do a Jordan flu game, so we respected that, and we said go get some rest and drink some fluids and electrolytes. We have some great stand-ins for him today. Introducing first is going to be our guest host and one of our Universal champions, someone that you may have heard on an episode all about the derriere, and that would be Ryan Clefcorn-Myers. How's it going?
It is going rather well. How are you?
Doing well. Just thank you so much for stepping in last minute. Ryan actually wrote these questions overnight, basically, just super quick. So thank you very much for doing that.
Yeah, I'm glad to do it anytime.
And then we're going to have a team of two here, two guys that we both like a lot. The first one we had pleasure to meet in Boston at our little get-together, one of our oldest Patreon subscribers, and we thank him for that, and that's Chris Eve. How's it going, Chris?
Good, guys. How about yourself?
Doing well. Thank you very much for joining us today and for supporting the show. And then we also have a host that has been on the show before. And I don't know actually if you've played a game with us. We'll have to find out when we ask him right now. But that's Brent Bollmeyer. How's it going?
It's going well. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing well. So let's start with Brent. I think some people might know you from your show, but if you just want to, reiterate what you host and where people can check you out.
Sure. I host the Sports Trivia podcast. Actually, it's called the Sports Trivia Faceoff. It's a podcast that's been going for a couple of months now, and it's gaining momentum. It's basically not unlike this podcast in which it's trivia game-based, but my questions are all about the wonderful world of sports.
Wonderful. And do you do any Howard Cosell impressions ever?
I have not done any Howard Cosell impressions because the attempt is basically puerile.
Well, I feel like, when I heard the show's great, by the way, but when I first heard it, I had three criteria. One was that there might be a Face-Off reference, the Nick Cage and John Travolta movie, which there wasn't. I was like, okay, that's fine. We'll go to number two. Number two was if there was going to be a Howard Cosell impression, which there wasn't. I said, I'll go to number three, which was, is there great sports trivia questions and a great host? And there is. So that's why I stuck around. So.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Of course. And Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I live in North Wales, which is about 45 minutes outside of Philadelphia, North Wales, Pennsylvania. Sorry. I'm doing trivia now, bar trivia, seriously, with a group of guys for the last about 3 years now. And love your guys' show. Love all the all the podcasts out there that have trivia. I don't think that you can have enough of those. Looking forward to this today.
Yeah, we are too. It's pretty crazy just how big the world is, and it reminds me, if I can put it to some sort of film reference for me, 20 years ago or whatever, I don't think anyone would have imagined that we'd have a plethora of comic book movies that people just never would have made before. I know we had Batman in like 1989, but now the fact there's just so many, and people who loved comics as kids getting all these movies and whatnot, and same thing with trivia. I think there's just a surplus of great trivia shows out there for everyone. And Ryan, you're coming to us from Wichita, Kansas.
Yes, as always. I have nothing new to report since the last time I was on here. I am recording at my place of work today, the Wichita Art Museum. So yeah, other than that, everything's been fine since the last time I was with you guys.
Well, Jeff, how are you feeling before we start the game?
I'm feeling all right.
Feeling all right? You tired, hot, sweaty, anything?
Oh, I'm always hot and sweaty.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, that's all right. That's your baseline. Well, yeah, I guess we got the coffee here. We got everything. So why don't we just throw it to the rules guy before we get to Ryan in the game and see what he has to say?
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
All right. Jeff informed us last time. I don't know if I don't think this was on the recording, but we're not going to beat that dead horse again. So yes, he did do it exactly the same because it's a recording.
You guys told me he came into the studio every week.
This is our triviality who shot JR moment. It's just a big twist. So Ryan, please take it away. It's going to be me and Jeff on Team Triviality, and then Brent and Chris, any team name you guys like to go by?
You know, how we always decided team names whenever we were doing like a board game night was I'll count down from 3, and you guys just say any word, and we will combine those 2 words to make your team name. So you have 3, 2, 1.
Beef.
Grass.
You are beef grass.
Yeah, beef grass. I like that.
Grass beef just feels like something we used to do when we were kids. Like we'd go outside and fight each other on the lawn.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Like a nice grass beef between Biggie and Tupac. Yeah.
Actually, it's when I fight with my neighbor. I fight with my neighbor about how long his lawn is because it's just that 1/4 inch too long, and I don't like it.
It's a game of inches, as Al Pacino says. All right, Ryan, whenever you're ready, man.
Alrighty, folks, we are round 1. Question 1. Your category is a question about fannies. What classic Southern side dish is served at the Whistle Stop Cafe in the title of a 1987 novel by author and frequent match game panelist Fannie Flagg?
So, side dish, Southern side dish.
Okra?
Oh yeah, okra's pretty good. Okra or collard greens or.
You know what? Is it fried green tomatoes?
Oh yeah, that's got to be it.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, we are locked in.
The only thing that came to my mind was fried green tomatoes.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. All right, let's lock that in then.
All right, we also locked in with fried green tomatoes.
The title of that 1987 novel is Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe. Fried Green Tomatoes is correct. Excellent start to the game, gentlemen. Let's move on to question 2. Your category is a question about bottoms. Sharing its name with a 2015 National Book Award for Young People's Literature winning work by author Neil Shusterman, what is the name of the deepest known point in the Earth's seabed?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, all right, we're locked in. You guys can talk.
The one thing that comes to my mind is the Marianas Trench, but I don't know if there is a point within that, like that they call this is the exact spot where it is the deepest.
I think the deepest part of the trench is called the Challenger Deep, I believe. Was discovered by James Cameron.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
All right, so you gentlemen are locking in with Challenger Deep. Over to Neil and Jeff.
Yeah, I pretty quickly zoned in. I believe the deepest part of the Marianas Trench is the Challenger Deep, but I'm not 100% sure. I could be confusing it with the sub. But we went Challenger Deep.
The name of that book and that point are both Challenger Deep. And that Neil Shusterman also spells it Neal, which I have learned recently is the correct way to spell it.
That's true. That is correct.
For all Neils everywhere.
Apologies to our Neil.
Yeah, the only one that gets a pass is Neil Armstrong.
I want to throw Neil Peart into that a lot too.
Oh, yeah, Neil Peart. That's true. I'm a drummer as well, so I have to give it to him. So
I did not know that. You are a Renaissance man.
I tried. Not as cool as Danny DeVito in the film Renaissance Man.
Oh my god. You have references for days, and I love you for it. All right, question 3. Your category is a question about backsides. The backside of a boat is called the stern, and it would take a stern attitude to be disciplined enough for the U.S. Navy or Coast Guard, in which what rank, which is below Vice Admiral, is given 2 stars.
Okay, so we're not going to do much better than our guests. We had no idea. We're not too versed in the naval codes, I suppose.
The naval ranks.
Naval ranks. So yeah, we're locked in.
Chris, the one that came to mind, I know it's a rank. I don't know exactly where it fits in, but the rank of Rear Admiral would certainly fit in unless Ryan is game theorying us to death.
Yeah, there's no reason to bring up Stern unless it involves something in the answer. So that sounds like a good gut.
Okay, so you want to lock in with Rear Admiral?
Yes.
All right, you are locked in. Over to Neil and Jeff.
That's a great guess. And when you said Rear Admiral, we said, oh yeah, that fits.
That's on theme.
Yeah, that's on theme. So we didn't really know. We didn't pull that. We just said Captain.
And the correct answer in our booty theme trivia is Rear Admiral.
Good job.
Well done, guys.
Moving on, we're going to go to question 4. Your category is a question about bums. And this is all a giant quote. As the hobo leaves the farm, Dick finds the symbol for a dishonest man carved into a fence post in front of their home, giving outside confirmation about what Dick suspects about his father. This sentence is part of the summary to The Hobo Code, the 8th episode of the first season of what critically acclaimed series that debuted in 2007.
All right, we're going to lock in with an answer that is certainly incorrect. So we had a lot of trouble.
Chris, I trust you implicitly.
I don't know why you do that. So I think Dick is his original name, but people know him as Don Draper. I believe this is Mad Men.
All right, locking in Mad Men. Over to Neil and Jeff.
Yeah, that would have helped.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I never watched Mad Men, and I think I would have pulled this if I did. So we had a lot of trouble, and just the fact that there was a hobo code made me think of the bro code, so we went with How I Met Your Mother.
And the correct answer, Dick, is indeed Dick Whitman from Mad Men.
Great poll.
We're going to move on to question 5. Your category is a question about badonkadonk. In one of history's greatest juxtapositions, the 2005 Trace Adkins single Honky Tonk Badonkadonk peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. It failed to reach number 1, though, because what Carrie Underwood song was in the middle of a 6-week stretch at the top?
Okay, there's only one song I can think of. Are you good with that?
So I'm totally fine with the first answer.
Oh, because of the juxtaposition?
Right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
We're locked in.
All right, we're in.
Chris, the only thing I know about Carrie Underwood is that she's married to Mike Fisher, and I couldn't stand him when he played for the Predators.
You are such a hockey fan.
Music isn't my thing at all. Did she do a song, How Do I Live?
I have absolutely nothing on this one.
Yeah, I don't either.
I move we punt.
All right, you guys have guessed the Carrie Underwood song Punt.
Performed by Ray Guy.
Ray Guy, yes, the Ray Guy Award. Moving over to Neil and Jeff, what do you guys have?
So Neil centered in on Jesus, Take the Wheel.
And there is nothing like a song about booty right next to a song about Jesus. The correct answer is Jesus, Take the Wheel.
Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, at least it brought us a little bit closer to you. So after 5, looks like Team Beefgrass has 40 points and Team Triviality has 30 points. So tight game.
Still laughing at Beefgrass. Moving on, we're going to go to question 6. Your category is forever, forever, ever, forever, ever. 8 years before Ian Fleming used a variation on the phrase for the title of a James Bond book, what company created the famous slogan, "A diamond is forever"?
Okay. We are locked in.
We're locked in.
All right, they are locked in. Over to Chris and Brent.
Well, the biggest diamond company is Zales, I believe.
I was thinking, isn't De Beers a great big diamond broker? They were the ones who kind of got this tradition started that said you have to spend X amount and a diamond is what you have to do in order to get engaged.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you want to go with the Beers?
I would lean towards De Beers more than Zales.
Okay, let's lock that in then.
Over to Neil and Jeff.
Yeah, there's not really too many companies out there when you talk about diamonds. It's a little bit of a cartel of sorts, but we also zeroed in on De Beers.
First used in 1948, "A diamond is forever" was the slogan for De Beers. Question 7. Your category is men who just can't keep it in their pants.
Brett Favre.
So men, then.
Yeah, just men, yeah.
The opening flourish of what familiar piece of classical music is played in Giacomo Puccini's Madama Butterfly to characterize Pinkerton, the American naval lieutenant who betrays his lover Cho-Cho-san?
There's only a couple Pinkertons I know, and one of them is Weezer's album.
Yes, it is. It's definitely not Weezer. Yeah, Madame Butterfly is the one in Japan.
Right.
Okay, we have no idea. So I know the piece. I know the operetta musical, but I cannot pull it. So we're locked in with the wrong answer.
I got the square root of Jack squad over here. The good news is they said they don't think they're right, so we don't. It's not like we're going to lose ground. More
Yeah,
than likely,
okay.
unless
But,
they're
yeah,
completely throwing us a deke.
We're not really clever enough to employ that strategy.
Well, I wasn't going to say it out loud, but
I can't come up with anything, Brent. So I don't know. Is punt is going to be is Beefgrass's best answer? Punt going to be every time we we don't have something.
yeah, I think so.
Beefgrass.
All right, Ryan. We can't come up with anything.
All right, you guys have guessed the Punt Sonata by Johann Sebastian Bach. Over to Neil and Jeff.
So quick shout out to our listener, Jason Heaton. He always talks about wanting some more classical music questions, which we're going to work on in the near future, but this one's for you. So all I heard in my head, I'm pretty sure this is way off, like Samsonite, but basically I'm thinking of the song that the do 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 do, like in the morning when all the cartoons they have that whatever that is. I don't know. So we just wrote right.
Morning Moon by Edvard Grieg.
That's probably it. Yeah. So we wrote Rite of Spring. So we had no idea.
Well, as he is an American naval lieutenant, if you were an opera rookie, you might be really shocked to hear the opening flourish of the Star-Spangled Banner whenever he is on stage.
Oh.
Would have never gone there.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, Puccini was late 19th, early 20th century too. So he was, I mean, definitely later than most people remember or suspect. And so that song, at least, is fairly well known around the world, at least during that time, as much as it would be today, maybe. But yes, the Star-Spangled Banner is your correct answer.
I would have guessed Bohemian Rhapsody before I guessed the Star-Spangled Banner. So good question.
Bismillah. All right, let's do question 8, folks. Your category is They See Me Rolling, They Hatin'.
Are they catching you white and nerdy?
Yeah, I am that. But atop which European landmark could you see the goddess Victoria riding a quadriga? That is Quadriga, which is a chariot pulled by 4 horses.
All right, so the chariot makes me think it's Roman.
Yeah. So European Victoria. Does that seem like a?
Is it like a statue on the Colosseum? Is it? What's that building with all of? That's like one of the oldest domed structures on Earth.
Oldest domed?
Yeah. There's like they built this like dome out of like bricks and concrete like 2,000 years ago. It's still standing. The Pantheon, something like that.
Oh, Pantheon?
I think we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
My first guess, actually my only guess, is the Arc de Triomphe in France.
Oh, I like that answer. It has a base. It's like the Eiffel Tower comes to a point.
Mhm.
Big Ben comes to a point. Look, it's Big Ben, Parliament.
Yeah. All right, let's go with that then. Let's lock that in.
All right, you guys have locked in with l'Arc de Triomphe. Over to Neil and Jeff.
Yeah, I can kind of see that now. We thought maybe it was a painting or something, and not maybe a statue. So we said it was the Pantheon.
The correct answer, you could find Victoria riding a quadriga on top of Berlin's Brandenburg Gate.
All right.
Oh,
Yes, you can. Now that I remember what that looks like, I didn't know the name of it, so it would have never helped. But
Let's move to question 9. Your category is Don't Worry, Brent, now's your time to shine. Game 1 of the 1954 World Series and the 1981 NFC Championship game both bolster 2 of the most famous moments in American sports history. What nickname do these moments share?
Yes, we're locked in.
yeah.
Okay, Neil and Jeff can talk aloud.
Okay, so
it's dangerous.
yeah, this is dangerous. So the first thing I was trying to think of the nickname, and the only thing in football that I think of right away when I think of nickname is the catch of the 49ers with Joe Montana to Clark, maybe. I can't remember his name, but recently I saw there was a bunch of autographed memorabilia where he signs his name like the catch, quote unquote, with his number and his signature. And I just figured the catch in football makes sense in baseball if it was a great catch in the World Series. So we're going to lock in with the catch.
You gentlemen have locked in with the catch. Over to Brent and Chris.
Yeah, this is the catch, exactly. This is Willie Mays with his back turned to the plate, catching it. And I believe it was the Indians. I forget the guy's name. It was Vic something.
Vic Wirtz.
There you
Vic
go.
Wirtz.
Vic Wirtz
At the-
hit the ball.
At the Polo Grounds.
Correct. So, yeah, Willie Mays was running for days just to get out there. But so we're going to go with the catch.
And the correct answer is the catch. Great work, gentlemen.
I believe the reason you saw that memorabilia was he passed away very recently.
He did. He did pass away very, very recently.
That's what it is then, yeah, because I saw a bunch of people posting their own autographs that he had signed, and I just kept seeing the catch, and it's a famous image, obviously, in slow motion. You see all the time in replays and whatnot. I was a little disappointed, though, that Ryan did not forego the Willie Mays reference and then go for the bat trick at the plate of Willie Mays Hayes in Major League.
Hits like Mays, runs like Hayes.
Okay, we're going to go to question 10. This is the last question before the swing round. Your category is, so where are the pictures of them crying into some Easy Mac? The most recent one shows Chris Hemsworth dragging his own luggage, Bradley Cooper reading a bunch, Molly Ringwald bowling, and Benicio del Toro struggling with an umbrella. What celebrity gossip magazine has a dedicated section called Stars, They're Just Like Us, which is dedicated to celebrities doing everyday mundane activities?
Okay, we're locked in.
Do you know this? Don't answer that.
Chris and Brent can talk aloud.
The one that jumped to my mind was People.
Yeah, that's the first thing that jumped to my mind. I don't read these rags, but I think people.
I don't know how to read, so.
Okay.
That makes your hosting even more incredible.
You've come a long way. I guess. Well, yeah. If we both first thought of people, let's lock in with people.
All right,
Okay, that's fair.
Beef Grass is locked in with people. Over to Team Triviality.
So I see these quite often ever since I was a little kid. My mom loves anything entertainment, anything Hollywood, and I'd read through these magazines, do the crossword, not necessarily focus on the gossip because I just know from my own standpoint like how wrong these things can be sometimes. And so we just went with Us Weekly.
Well, if you want to see stars doing mundane things, you can find Stars, They're Just Like Us in Us Weekly.
Ugh.
Ooh.
I think my favorite parody of that is the BoJack Horseman one, and I can't quite remember how it goes, but it's like, stars, they're people, they're doing things. I'll have to look that one up. I can't remember. That one's great, though. But yeah, I would have never gotten the original source material without Neil, so.
Yeah, and no comment if there isn't Us Weekly in the other room, which there is, so.
What's our score heading into the swing round?
So this has been, so far, the first half, a great game, Ryan. Thank you for the questions. And what great competitors. We're having a lot of fun here. It's actually tied 60-60 going to the swing round. So that question with the rag put us to a tie.
Your swing round category is, just give it to somebody new already. Italy and France have 14 and 12 wins, respectively, for the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film. For 5 points apiece, name 10 of the other 13 countries that have won at least twice. Again, Italy and France have 14 and 12 wins, respectively. That's way too easy. You're not getting those points. For the Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, wins again. So for 5 points each, name 10 of the other 13 countries that have won at least twice.
Now, was it foreign language or just foreign movie?
The category is always foreign language film.
Okay.
Because, for example, and this is not a correct answer, but I think in 2003-ish, there was a movie from Canada that won because it was in French.
Okay, so they're locked in, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so we have a large list here.
It's up to you, Neil. You have to tell me how you feel about these.
Okay.
After that, there's basically nothing else.
All right. So my guess is here we're gonna get at least five right. So let me just pick. Okay, Japan. I'm gonna say for sure. So that's our number one. Sweden. I'm gonna say for sure. Argentina. Spain. So hold on, let me circle these. Spain, Argentina, Sweden, Japan. I don't know if it's going to be Russia or Soviet Union. A lot of old films that probably won were Soviet Union. I don't know if Keith is going to clarify for that.
Well, we'll go Russia with the asterisk that I think we know what it was before 1991. So
I will say that if you should pick between Soviet Union or Russia. I am picky about that. Same with any former and new countries. Yeah, I do do a distinction between that.
Their older movies are better, so we're going to say Soviet Union in that one. Denmark. I kind of feel good about Denmark. Is that in the where's that, Scandinavia?
Yeah, that's vaguely Scandinavian.
Okay, and then the
Depends
Netherlands.
on your definition.
They're right around there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not too sure about this, but
That's where all the crazy Dutch people live now.
Okay, we'll go.
Like Dutch boy.
All right. I love film. Netherlands and Denmark are probably. I'm going to say both of those for the hell of it. One of them is right. Hungary and Bulgaria. Bulgaria has Sofia, Bulgaria, where there's a giant studio there that they make all the cheap action movies at because they pay people pennies there. But let's go with Budapest. How do you say it correctly?
Budapest.
Oh, okay, I thought it was like Budapest or something.
It could be. It's 2 cities.
I don't know. All right, so Jeff and I discussed these countries. It was a great team effort. Jeff listed as many countries as he could with varying...
Neil stopped me after 160, so...
Yeah, with varying populations. And I kind of just went with films that I knew were from certain countries, hoping that maybe they had won more than once. So I wrote down Japan, Poland, Sweden, Soviet Union, Brazil, Hungary, Argentina, Spain, Denmark, and the Netherlands is our 10.
And over to beef grass.
Okay, Brett and I discussed this. And our 10 are Poland, Hungary, Germany, Japan, China, South Korea, Russia, Israel, Greece, and Denmark.
All righty. So, my darlings, after Italy with 14 and France with 12, each having 4 wins apiece, are Japan and Spain. Having 3 apiece are Sweden, Denmark, the Soviet Union, and the Netherlands. And all with 2 apiece are Iran, which has won twice in the last decade, Austria, Switzerland, the now defunct Czechoslovakia, Argentina, Germany, and Hungary. So by my count, I think that Team Triviality got 8 right for 40, and Beefgrass got 4 right for 20.
Man, I forgot about Iran and Switzerland too.
Yeah, Ashgar Farhadi has won both Iranian wins. He did it for a separation in 2011, and then there was that whole travel ban that happened in 2016, and he was not allowed to attend the ceremony, and he won that year as well.
I felt like that was a Middle Eastern country, but after like Egypt and Saudi Arabia, I wasn't really thinking about Iran. So
yeah, and that was Israel was a good guess too. I was thinking about that as well.
Israel, I think, has the most nominations without ever having won.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been accepted as a nominee 10 times, and it's never been picked.
The Susan Lucci of the countries. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Swing round. What are the scores?
You said 40, and they got 20, so it's going to be 100 Triviality, 80 Beefgrass, still tight.
Very tight. All right, we are in round 2, question 11, number 1 of the second round. Your category is, so is it black and blue or white and gold? The video for Madonna's hit song Material Girl sees her in a pink dress surrounded by sugar daddies. And this is a direct takeoff reference to Marilyn Monroe in a similar situation in what film?
We're locked in.
Neil's voguing in the corner.
The one that hits me the most that I'm thinking of is Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
That sounds reasonable.
Okay, so I don't think I have anything else. Let's go with that one then.
All right, Beefgrass is locked in with Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Team Triviality?
Yeah, when we polled Brent and Chris before the show started about who they liked more between me and Jeff, they said gentlemen prefer blondes, and they picked Jeff, so that's what we went with.
Your hair's probably more blonde than mine.
That's fine.
The correct answer is gentlemen prefer blondes.
Thank you, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if that's true, but...
And one reason I love that movie as much as I do is because the director, Howard Hawks, just proves he can direct any genre of film well.
He's one of the best.
Alrighty, let's go to question 12, number 2 of the second round. Your category is Don't Be Tricked by an Imposter. Most pastas are still called by their original Italian names in the United States, but one exception is that of capellini pasta. That is Capellini, capellini pasta. What is the common name of this type of pasta in English?
I think we're in.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're in.
Over to beef grass.
Chris, is that angel hair?
I don't know. This
Capillata kind of to me sounds like the capillaries, which are the really smallest veins in your body. And angel hair is the only one I can think of that has an English name.
Okay. All right.
Unless you have something better, I'd
No.
go, that's what I'd go with.
I got nothing.
All right, beef grass is locking in with angel hair. Over to Team Triviality.
Yeah, we kind of wish we had angel hair at this point, but Neil and I thought maybe on reflex it was bow tie pasta.
The correct answer, capellini, is angel hair.
All right. Good job, Brent.
Excellent weird logic, Brent, but that was beautiful.
When you need weird logic, I'm your guy.
Ain't that the truth? I'm surprised you didn't have a sports reference somewhere in there. You would be like, oh, when the Canadiens won their third Stanley Cup, they ate capellini pasta out of it.
Got a little too excited on that question. We should have taken a moment.
Okay, folks, let's do question 13, number 3 of the round. Your category is, I own 51% of this company, damn it. What American business icon worth $16.6 billion was a special advisor to Donald Trump last year on regulatory reform and is best remembered as a corporate raider in the 1980s after he took over TWA in 1985 and systematically sold all its assets to repay the debt he used to purchase the company?
Oh man, this is a tough one for us. We I think we know who it is, but or like the face, and we can picture him. We just could not come up with a name. We wrote down a name, but tough question.
Being in St. Louis, where TWA was the hub, the man's name that we learned to not like very much was Carl Icahn. I'm awfully sure on that one.
All right. Let's go with that.
I couldn't get the I out of my head, and we spent quite a while just going back and forth trying to figure it out. So the first I name billionaire I could think of was Ira Rennert. So we just settled on that and we called it a day.
So I totally did not plan this, but I did call him an American business icon. It is Carl Icahn.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, I didn't even.
That one I thought was gettable, which is why we struggled with it. When we don't know, we just give up immediately, which is our best play.
You had the I, so I mean, you were close.
And I had a billionaire, so we had two of the things.
All right, we are on question 14 and number 4 of the second round. Your category is round, round, get around, I get around.
Yeah, get around, round.
So it's another Joe DiMaggio question.
Yeah.
What name is shared between two different kinds of transport? One, a distinctive kind of boat, and the second, an aerial lift supported by cables from above.
Chris, I think I have it.
I think I'm with you. I think I got it too.
Buoy, tugboat. What's another type of boat? Like a goofy boat.
Duck. Oh, you've got cable cars, you've got elevators, you've got
Aerial lift. I was trying to think of those things that like are in other countries, like over snow, where they take you a really long distance, like up a mountain, like a couple people.
like cable cars.
Yeah. But is there another name for one of those things?
Tram. I'm not sure.
I can't go on those ever since Jaws bit through one in The Spy Who Loved Me.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you want.
All right. Well, here you pick. You're smarter.
That has no bearing here. Also, I'm not even sure if it's true, but yeah, we'll lock in with we'll say glider.
All right, you have locked in with glider. Over to beef grass.
What do you got, Brent?
Gondola?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pretty sure those cable cars are also called gondolas.
And the correct answer is gondola. The actual car itself is called the gondola.
You mentioned Jaws and Spy Who Loved Me. That was one of the great lines in Bond films when Dr. Goodhead said, "Hold on, James," and he looks up and says, "The thought had occurred to me."
Is that Holly Goodhead? Is that her name?
Dr. Holly Goodhead
Yes.
from Moonraker. Of the most blatant Bond girl names, Dr. Goodhead is up there.
Moonraker's not up there on my list of Bond movies.
Oh, it's pretty bad. It was
That was a reaction to Star Wars. That's all that was.
absolutely. It
Yeah.
came out in 1979. It was clearly Star Wars.
Mhm.
All right. Question 15, number 5 of the round. Your category is that feel when you accidentally stub your toe on the altar. Not to be confused with the scientist and philosopher of the same name, what Irish-British painter is perhaps best remembered today for his series of portraits of screaming popes made during the 1950s?
Wow, screaming popes. So Jeff is writing down some philosophers, scientists. No bearing on this question. Doesn't ring a bell in any sort of fashion.
The only great philosopher I ever studied was George Carlin.
Attaboy.
I don't know. Jeff's talking about stuff here. I checked out about 5 minutes ago.
Nah, I'll let you pick. You can throw a dart at it.
All right, just pick one of the names you wrote down because I didn't recognize any of them.
How do I live without you?
Still going, huh?
I want to know.
Okay, we're locked in.
All right, over to beef grass.
What was the first name that you were thinking of?
The first thing I thought of was Thomas Paine, and now I'm still thinking more. And believe it or not, I've come down to two names which go together: Hobbes and Calvin.
It beats the hell out of anything I've got.
I guess we'll go with Calvin then.
All right, beef grass is locked in with Calvin. Over to team triviality.
We didn't have too much bearing here. I think it's within the grasp, but there's a couple names I left off my potential list. Adding to the ones you had said, I had thought about John Locke. I thought about David Hume. I thought about Jeremy Bentham, mostly on the philosopher angle. But on the strength of philosophers, I decided that we would go with my favorite English philosopher, and we went Russell.
I highly encourage you all to look at his study after Velasquez's portrait of Pope Innocent X because it's creepy as hell. Both that philosopher and that artist are named Francis Bacon.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
And to pique the interest of Neil, he was highly influenced by that scene in Battleship Potemkin where the woman gets shot through her eyeglass.
Ooh, I like that.
So glad I can talk to people about things like that.
So, Team Beefgrass is playing a really great first half of second round, too. So the score, they actually took the lead. So it's 120 for Beefgrass to 110 for Triviality.
Ooh. All right. Let's do question 16, number 6 of the second round. Your categories, you're never going to believe it. We're going to put a play inside the play. What classic Rodgers and Hammerstein musical sees a bunch of cute little kids put on an adaptation of a play they call The Small House of Uncle Thomas?
Oh, this makes me angry. I wish Colleen was here. I know this one, too. So I don't think it's Oklahoma. I played drums for that. It could be Carousel, South Pacific.
You've named all of the Rodgers and Hammerstein plays that I know offhand.
I think Carousel just won a Tony. I think maybe that's why he wrote the question. So let's just go with that.
That's fine.
I could be way off.
You said you guys are locked in?
That is
Indeed.
correct.
You better take your shirt off, Chris Farley. All right, Beefgrass, you guys can talk.
Another movie question for you there, Brent.
Yeah.
So,
I don't have a whole lot here.
Okay. This is Sound of Music, Best Picture 1965.
I'm with you.
They do, have you seen the movie?
No.
They do, okay. I think they do like a puppet show in the park type thing. So it's going to probably be our best guess.
Already, Beefgrass is locked in with The Sound of Music. Over to Team Triviality.
So we're pretty pissed on this one. I was naming all the Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals, and there's one that I always forget to say, and I will not be able to save face about it. So we did not put The King and I, which I believe is the correct answer, but we ended up putting Carousel due to its recent exposure as a
Tony winner
stuff. So we want Carousel, even though I'm pretty sure it's incorrect.
The Small House of Uncle Thomas is an adaptation of Uncle Tom's Cabin put on by the kids from The King and I.
So angry.
Tough break. Also, can I just take a quick sec to say that Carousel is garbage because the entire musical is about how it's okay that your husband beats you. It's because his life is rough and he loves you.
Hot take.
I hate Carousel so much. Liverpool fans, I'm cool with. You can sing your 60s pop cover of You'll Never Walk Alone all you want. I'm cool with that. Just Carousel.
Can I do one stupid thing here for 2 seconds?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, hold on. Hey, Colleen. What musical is there a play within the musical called The Small House of Uncle Thomas by Rodgers and Hammerstein? Do you know? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I knew she'd get it. Sorry, she's a theater director in high school, so she's a big musical person. All right, let's continue. Sorry.
Question 17, number 7 of the second round. Your category is Gym Teacher Vocab 101. First coming into existence sometime in the 1930s, what 10-letter P word, as in potato, is defined as, quote, a feeble or effeminate man? 10 letters begins with P, as in pretty, pretty princess.
Pusillanimous?
Gym teacher vocab, so it's got to be something a gym teacher.
Think about a movie where like they would be shouting at it like a kid.
Oh, Poindexter? No.
Poindexter?
Poindexter. Yeah.
Could be. I'm fine with that.
Okay, I think Jeff gave me a clue. It's probably wrong, but at least we got an answer here, and it's 10 letters, so we're in.
Alrighty, you are in. Beefgrass, what you thinking?
Chris, did you have any ideas?
No, I didn't. I had the 5-letter word that begins with a P, but I know that's not right. So
Yeah.
I had like a 12 or 13 letter word that fit, but also wasn't quite right.
Yeah, Jeff's like, what about pusillanimous or whatever you said?
Pusillanimous?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
not
great
the right
word.
answer.
So what do you think, Brent?
The one that I came up with was panty waist.
Okay. Yeah. It sounds like a
10 letters.
1930s term. Yeah. I've never heard it before. So I guess we go with that.
All right,
Okay, yeah, it's-
Beefgrass is locking in with panty waist. Over to Team Triviality.
We went more in the insulting nerds direction, and we said Poindexter.
First coming into existence in the 30s, that 10-letter P word meaning a feeble or effeminate man is panty waist.
Woohoo!
Good job, Brent.
Thank you.
Wow, we are sucking this second
Oh
round.
yeah, we're
Wow.
0 for the last 6.
Brent, you're killing
this
it
is-
right now.
He's on a roll.
Getting lucky.
Alrighty. Question 18, number 8 of the second round. Your category is all of these things are just like the others. What is the most notable title held between all the following people? Your people are Alan Scott, Guy Gardner, Hal Jordan, Jessica Cruz, C-R-U-Z, John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, and Simon Baz, B-A-Z.
We're locked in.
We got this. Brent, I think I got this one.
Okay, go for it.
I believe these are all Green Lanterns. Incarnate, Green Lantern always changes because the ring chooses somebody else. So I believe these are all Green Lanterns.
That works for me.
Okay.
All right, Beefgrass is locked in with Green Lantern. Over to Team Triviality.
The ring also chose us to have the same answer, so we also locked in with Lantern, Green Lantern.
And all of those people have at various times been a Green Lantern.
Well done, Chris.
Which name was the one that clued you in?
Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Ryan Reynolds' character?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
So, question 19, number 9 of round 2. Your category is Quentin Tarantino would love this question. Formerly a registered trademark, what is the name for a closed, low-cut shoe with a strap over the instep? They were named after famous comic strip character and advertising mascot Buster Brown's Sweetheart.
And Quentin Tarantino, I'm assuming, would love this because it's about feet.
That is exactly right. It's either that or trunks. So,
Okay, so we are definitely crashing here after Green Lantern. So
It should have been Team Hindenburg.
Yeah, we should have been. Yeah, you're right. We're gonna lock in with an incorrect answer, so you guys can talk.
all right, Team Triviality is locked in with an incorrect answer. Beefgrass, you can talk it out.
I'm having trouble getting Daisy out of my head, and I know that's not right.
That's funny because I wrote down Daisy as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I am not exactly a fashionista.
No, neither am I. Well, Team Beefgrass doesn't deal with that fashionista stuff.
That's right.
I know you guys are wearing Louboutins right now. Don't lie.
I don't even know what those are, but that's funny.
It's a fancy shoe that has a red lacquered sole.
I was gonna say, but like weirdly, he painted the bottom of his shoe red. It was a weird situation.
No, that's blood.
Don't give away our secrets.
We're going to lock in with Bobby.
All right, Beefgrass is locked in with Bobby. Over to Team Triviality.
We were concentrating on this being a male shoe at first, and after we had locked in, I think we came to the realization that it was a female shoe, we think. So we actually didn't have an answer originally, so we were just going to punt, but just for the sake of comedy, after we had realized what the answer is, but we're not going to be getting points, we wrote Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, which is very appropriate because the name of that shoe is a Mary Jane.
Yeah, I always hate when that happens after you put your answer in and then you're like, oh, come on. So
You guys have. That's the second time this round you guys have had a bad beat. All right. Question 20, last question of the round before the final questions. Your category is Eat Your Vegetables, kiddos. Starting in Super Mario Bros. 2, what vegetable could be plucked from the ground and thrown at enemies to defeat them?
I feel like I know this.
Are those radishes or something?
Yeah, right? They're long. Is that a radish?
Could be.
I don't know. That's what you said. I
Beets? I'm trying to...
Yeah, a beet or a radish?
I can see it, but I can't. I don't know for sure.
I can see it too.
Radishes tend to be small.
What's a radish? You like radishes better?
Radishes are real tiny. They're not very big.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's like a beet. It's definitely not like a carrot or something, right?
No,
It's
I think
definitely a root vegetable.
It's something that you pull out, and
It's like really wide tapers.
maybe.
That'd be a beet that I could think of.
All right. We are locked in reluctantly after going back and forth on two vegetables.
All right, Beefgrass, what you thinking?
Is it an onion?
I don't think. Can it be a turnip?
Oh, that could.
I feel like it's thinner, and they pull it out of the ground. I thought it was like a turnip, like a radish turnip, but radishes are more red. I think it's a white vegetable, right?
I'm fine with turnip.
Okay, let's go.
Alrighty. Beefgrass is locked in with turnip. Over to Team Triviality.
Turnip sounds right to me now that I think about it, but I couldn't quite get the shape down with the vegetable, and so we thought maybe it was Dwight Schrute classic beets.
Those two things are very similarly shaped. In the shape of the vegetable in question, you can pull it out of the ground and throw a turnip at your enemies. Turnip is correct.
Thank you for talking me out of that.
Sure.
Alrighty, so Senor Fisher, what are the final scores heading into the final question?
All right. So after regulation, the game was tight until Team Triviality decided to take a bathroom break the entire round. So right now, going into the final, Team Beefgrass has 150, and Team Triviality has 120 to wager with.
Okay, so now is when you guys are going to get your final 5 categories. Are you gentlemen ready?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Your first category is By Your. That is BY space YOUR. Your second category is Powers Combined. Your third category is I Am. Your fourth category is Captain. And your fifth category is Planet.
I love how you do these categories.
I love you too. Okay, so your final questions. Category 1 was By Your. Just like the words by and your, what word, which is also a homophone, comes from a combination of Old English, Dutch, and German, and is the term for, quote, an adult male deer, especially a red deer over 5 years old. Category 2 was Powers Combined. Link and the pirate captain Tetra team up to defeat Ganon in which entry of the Legend of Zelda series that came out in 2003? Your third category is I Am. In 1966, a famous duo hit number 3 on the charts with the folksy single I Am a Rock. What was this duo's final number 1 hit together, which was the year-end most successful song of 1970 and also the winner for Record and Song of the Year at the 13th Grammy Awards? Category 4 is Captain. Peter Nowak, Nowak, captained what MLS team to an MLS Cup victory in their inaugural 1998 season, though their team name is probably historically insensitive to people who were alive in 1871. And category 5 is Planet. What is the only planet in our solar system whose atmosphere is primarily made of nitrogen? So that's all 5 locked in for you guys, correct?
Yes, it is, Ryan.
Okay. So
Are we dumb?
yeah, we're
There's your show title.
Yeah.
And that's in reference to one that we get right. So
I hope we got right because
I'm positive.
We debated about it forever.
I'm positive.
Okay,
All
I
right,
hope
so
you're
you guys
positive.
are locked in as well then, it sounds like.
Yeah,
are.
we're locked in as well.
Alrighty, then let's go through these questions one more time, gentlemen. Your first category was By Your. Just like the words by and your, what word, also a homophone, comes from a combination of Old English, Dutch, and German, and is the term for, quote, an adult male deer, especially a red deer over 5 years old. Team Triviality, what do you guys have?
We weren't too sure. We initially wrote down buck, and we didn't think that that was correct. I mean, it could be correct. One thing that we kind of locked in was the word stag, just because I think in England, bachelor parties are called stag parties. So we
have a stag night, yeah.
Stag night. And then Jeff was like, it could be like a German word as well, like Stag, like Stagg. So we went with stag.
Alrighty, and what did you go with, beef grass?
Pretty much the exact same logic, and we ended up with stag.
The correct answer for an adult male deer, especially a red deer over 5 years old, is a hart, H-A-R-T.
Red. There we go.
Team Triviality bet 20 points and was incorrect. And Beefgrass bet 10 points and was incorrect.
I don't like it already.
So, moving on to category 2, that was powers combined. Link and the pirate captain Tetra team up to defeat Ganon in which entry of the Legend of Zelda series that came out in 2003?
Okay, we weren't sure on the year on this one, but we said the Wind Waker.
And Team Triviality, what did you put?
Yeah, I kind of missed some of these Zelda games going through.
We discussed Ocarina of Time, but
yeah,
Jeff said
that was a launch game for 64, so I'm pretty sure that one came out like 97-ish.
And I don't play Zelda, so the only other one I knew was Majora's Mask, and Jeff said that.
I'm pretty sure Majora's Mask is also a follow-up on 64. And then I bought a Wii, so that was Twilight Princess. So I kind of missed the GameCube era. I couldn't remember what it was called. Wind Waker sounds correct, although we went with A Link to the Past.
The correct answer is The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker.
Oh, good man, you.
Team Triviality bet 20 points on that and was incorrect. And Beefgrass bet 10 points and was correct. Moving on, category 3, the category was I Am. In 1966, a famous duo hit number 3 on the charts with the folksy single I Am a Rock. What was this duo's final number 1 hit together, which was the year-end most successful song of 1970, as well as the winner of Record and Song of the Year at the 13th Grammy Awards? Team Triviality, what did you have?
We weren't too sure. We heard duo, we heard folksy. We just assumed it was Simon and Garfunkel, and we just thought maybe they ended their career on Bridge Over Troubled Water, so that was what we went with.
Alrighty, and over to Beefgrass. What did you guys put?
We had the same. We put a Bridge Over Troubled Water.
The correct answer is Bridge Over Troubled Water.
That's good. They play that a lot in my little town.
Team Triviality wagered 20 points and was correct. Beefgrass wagered 10 points and was correct. We are now on category 4. Your category title was Captain. Peter Novak captained what MLS team to an MLS Cup victory in their inaugural 1998 season, though their team name is probably a little historically insensitive to people who were alive in 1871. It is now Beefgrass. Beefgrass, what'd you say?
Go ahead, Brent.
We started running through all the MLS names we could think of and trying to figure out what could be insensitive. And first we kind of revolved around the Vancouver Whitecaps, but I don't think they've been around that long. And then I wondered if the 1871 was a reference to the Great Chicago Fire. So we went with the team, the Chicago Fire.
And Team Triviality?
This is one where we struggled for a while, and it seemed to have been in vain. The event itself may have been great, although I don't think the MLS team is. We said the Chicago Fire.
It's the equivalent of calling yourself the San Antonio Alamos or the New York Twin Towers. It is the Chicago Fire. Team Triviality wagered 20 points and was correct, and Beefgrass wagered 10 points and was correct. Which brings us to category 5, which was planet. What is the only planet in our solar system whose atmosphere is primarily made of nitrogen? Team Triviality?
This is another one where Neil and I stared at each other with blank stares for a while. And then it was obvious. The planet is Earth.
And Beefgrass.
Yeah, same thing. Right away it came to us that I think it's 78 or ish percent nitrogen here on Earth.
And the correct answer is Earth. I'm not sure any of you guys detected what I was doing, but by your powers combined, I am Captain Planet. Your answers had Earth, Fire, Water, Wind, and Heart in them. Team Triviality wagered 20 points and was correct, and Beefgrass wagered 10 and it was correct. What does that bring our final scores to this afternoon?
If Team Triviality would have gotten the first two questions right, we would have squeaked out a win there, but we did not. So we're in second place today with 160 points, and today with 190 points.
The cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop, Team Beefgrass.
I am the cream, yeah. The cream of the crop.
Ooh, yeah.
Good job, Brent.
Well done.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So the hardest part of this game was trying to force Earth, Fire, Water, Wind, and Heart into those 5 final freaking categories.
I bet.
I was stuck on Water and I Am, and I was doing looking up Kogaido Ergo Sum and I Am Sasha Fierce by Beyonce and trying to find any connection to water that I could. And so I finally found a really loose one and went for it.
So we'll go.
Is that our new outro music? I like it.
Yeah.
Round Ball Rock.
So a very special thank you to Ryan today for the wonderful questions that he wrote overnight with some great themes there.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for appreciating those questions. Glad to help out.
Of course. And if you guys were fans of the No More Butts episode, which was what, Jeff? Episode 59, I think.
58?
58 or 59.
We don't even know what happens on our show
59.
anymore.
59. Ryan had us donate some money to a prostate cancer research website. So if you guys want to check that out, the link is in the show notes of that one. So thank you, Ryan, for throwing some money to a charitable cause.
Of course. Anything we can do to help butts.
There you go. Thank you to Brent Bollmeyer. If you'd like to give everyone your contact info for the show once again, that'd be great.
Sure, it's the Sports Trivia Faceoff. If you just Google Sports Trivia Faceoff or search for it on iTunes or Pocket Cast or whatever podcast software you use, you will likely find it.
Wonderful. And thank you once again to Chris E. for joining us. Anything you'd like to plug, Chris, or you just going to kind of go on your way today?
No, I just echo the thoughts of Ryan Clefcorn Myers. Good job today, and donate the money to somebody. That's all. Be nice.
That's a great way to end the show.
Just as a brief aside, I don't know if you know, aside from being great trivia players, as you've seen, all of these three gentlemen happen to also be Patreon supporters. So if you would like to join their illustrious ranks, you can join them at patreon.com/trivialitypodcast, where you can enjoy bonus episodes and a lot of other great things that we have for you there. So if you feel like we've earned it and would like to support our show, please do so. Patreon.com/trivialitypodcast.
Yeah, and so Chris and Brent are both United States champions, and Ryan just upgraded himself to a Universal champion, so we really appreciate all of their support.
And it's because of their support that we have just met our most recent goal. So we're going to be doing a minimum of one public-facing bonus episode a month, thanks in large part to their contributions. We already do a bonus episode a month for our Patreon supporters, but now we're going to be doing at least one, try to get back to our original form, where we do lay it on these more things like that. We got a little burned out. We got a little too eager in the beginning. So we've brought another editor on board, so that should help us do that. And it's all thanks to support like we're receiving from everyone here.
Well, congratulations on getting to that milestone. That's really awesome.
Yes, very much. Congratulations. Well deserved and well earned.
Yes,
Thank you. We're very happy about that.
Oh well, thank you, Brent. One of the things that we've kind of said from the beginning is the show is all about the listeners, and it's the listeners who have allowed us to continue going strong and keeping the quality up in the show. We don't have any ads on our show, and we're just supported by the listeners who we try to support with great questions and great content. So thank you to everyone, and a special thank you to Isaiah, who is a Cruiserweight champion on Patreon and is the one editing our bonus episode. So thank you, Isaiah. Great job. Continue doing your great work.
Thank you, Isaiah.
So thank you very much to you three for joining us today. Thank you to Matt for staying home, getting medicated, and hopefully better to come back. We do need a software update for his Android operating system to make sure it works next time. And Ken, have fun in Japan fixing those trains with your beard hair. For Jeff, my name is Neil, and that was Triviality.
Just hang in there 1 second. Please, God, give me the answer! Spanish Armada. 1588.
That is correct.